Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. If you're looking for even more to think about, make sure to head over to https://learnxyz.in. Today we're going beyond the usual Elon Musk headlines, all about Tesla and SpaceX, of course. But we're digging a little deeper into the lesser-known stories and surprising facts. The stuff that really shows us what makes this guy tick.
Yeah, you know it is interesting. When you start to look past the rockets and electric cars, what you find is someone who has really been hustling and innovating since he was a kid. And that's what we're going to uncover today.
Exactly. Everyone knows about Zip2 and PayPal.
hmm
But did you know that Musk sold his first computer game? It's called Blastar, when he was just 12 years old.
Yeah, that's the thing about Musk. That drive to create and build things. I mean, it started early. Selling a game at 12, that's not just luck. That shows a real knack for identifying a need and then, meeting it. And it's a pattern we see again and again throughout his career.
So it wasn't just about making games for fun. It was about seeing an opportunity, a business opportunity, and going for it. That definitely sets the stage for what was to come.
Exactly. And speaking of setting the stage, we have to talk about Iron Man for a second. Robert Downey Jr. actually consulted with Musk to prepare for the role of Tony Stark. He even visited SpaceX for inspiration. And there's even a cameo by Musk in Iron Man 2.
Wait, are you serious? I've seen those movies so many times, and I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess that shows you how Musk has become this pop culture icon, almost like a real-life Tony Stark.
Well, yeah. It's fascinating how that connection goes beyond, just the tech genius persona. Musk's companies are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, just like Stark Industries in the movies.
Totally. And it's not just about the spectacle either. Musk is known for being, well, intellectually demanding. He famously asks potential hires this riddle. He goes, "You're standing on the surface of the Earth. You walk 1 mile south, 1 mile west, and 1 mile north. You end up exactly where you started. Where are you?"
Oh, yeah. I've heard that one. It's a classic. It really makes you think about problem solving and thinking outside the box, which are definitely qualities he values. So let's try it. You walk 1 mile south.
Okay, 1 mile south, then west for a mile. This is harder than it sounds. And you end up back where you started, the North Pole.
That's it. It's a good one, right? You have to really visualize it. You can't just rely on normal directions.
Definitely makes you think. But let's shift gears for a minute and talk about something a little more personal. Musk's family. Reports suggest he has 13 children, and he has actually said that. Having a large family is a way to preserve human consciousness.
That's an interesting way to put it. It definitely raises some questions
Yeah.
about his motivations and his beliefs. Does he see a large family as a way to impact the future in some way? Maybe even connected to his vision of colonizing Mars.
Maybe he thinks you need a lot of people to start a new colony on another planet.
It's possible. I mean, he's definitely someone who thinks long-term about the future of humanity. But this also leads us to some of the controversies that surround Musk, particularly his political influence.
Right, his involvement with DOGE
Yeah.
has definitely been making headlines.
Well, yeah, and to give some context, DOGE stands for the Department of Government Efficiency. It's a new agency that was established after the 2024 election. Now, Musk became a vocal supporter of Donald Trump during that election cycle. Not only did he contribute financially to the campaign, but he also used his platform on X, which was formerly known as Twitter, to amplify certain political viewpoints.
And then with Trump winning the election, Musk was appointed co-director of DOGE. He pretty quickly took charge, implementing all these major cost-cutting measures and streamlining different government functions.
Yeah, he essentially spearheaded
Yeah.
massive government downsizing, which led to a lot of layoffs across numerous agencies.
And this is where things get really controversial. Some people applauded Musk's efforts to cut what they see as bureaucratic waste, but others are concerned about the impact this will have on essential services and the potential for abuse of power.
Exactly. There have been legal challenges, questioning the extent of his authority within DOGE, especially since he's unelected. The White House insists he's just in an advisory role, but his active involvement in actually shaping policies continues to spark debate about the influence of private individuals and government.
And there are the reports about SpaceX and Tesla potentially benefiting from his government connections. And let's not forget the investigations into the use of undocumented labor at his companies, which seem to contradict his public statements about immigration.
Right. These controversies add another layer of complexity to Musk's story. They raise important questions about the ethics of his business practices and whether his drive to achieve these ambitious goals sometimes comes at a cost.
It's a lot to think about, and we're just getting started. But before we jump into Musk's ventures in AI, I want to remind everyone to visit https www.LearnXYZ-In for more deep dives like this one. Okay, so we've talked about Musk's early ventures, his Iron Man connection, and even his family life. Now let's dive into something that's been generating a lot of buzz, his work in artificial intelligence.
Yeah, this is where things get really exciting. In February of 2025, Musk's company xAI launched Grok 3, which is a powerful AI model designed to rival the likes of OpenAI's GPT-4 and DeepSeek's V3.
I've heard a lot about Grok 3. It's supposed to be incredibly advanced, especially when it comes to math, science, and coding. Some are even saying it's already surpassing its competitors in certain benchmarks.
That's right. Grok 3 is powered by xAI's supercomputer cluster, called Colossus. It has 10 times the computational power of its predecessor, which allows it to tackle complex tasks with incredible speed and accuracy.
Okay, but what does that actually mean for the average person? How would someone like me use Grok 3?
Imagine this. You're planning a vacation. Instead of just booking flights and hotels, you could ask Grok 3 to create a detailed itinerary based on your interests. It could suggest destinations, activities, even restaurants tailored to your budget and preferences.
Wow, so it's like having a super intelligent travel agent right at your fingertips.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Grok 3 is designed to be versatile and adaptable. It has two main modes, think mode for step-by-step problem solving and big brain mode for even more complex tasks that require a higher level of reasoning.
So how do I get my hands on this Grok 3? Is it available to the public?
Well, xAI has integrated Grok 3 with X, offering access to Premium Plus subscribers. They've also launched a new subscription tier called Super Grok, which is available through their mobile app and website. And that's not all. They've also introduced Deep Search, which is an AI-powered search engine that provides detailed summaries and explanations for any query you throw at it.
Hold on. They're taking on Google with their own search engine. That's a bold move.
Well, Musk doesn't shy away from bold moves. With Grok 3 and Depth Search xAI is aiming to change how we access and interact with information. They're positioning themselves as a major player in the AI and search engine markets.
And it seems like they're putting their money where their mouth is. I read that xAI is seeking $10 billion in funding, with a target valuation of $75 billion.
That's right. They're clearly serious about becoming a dominant force in the AI landscape. This aligns with Musk's overall vision of integrating advanced AI into everyday life. He believes that AI has the potential to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges, but he also acknowledges the risks and stresses the need for responsible development.
It's a fascinating but complicated topic. Speaking of complicated, I think it's time for a little fact-checking. We've heard a lot about Musk, but there's also a lot of misinformation out there. So let's debunk some of the most common myths.
I'm all for that. Let's separate fact from fiction.
Okay, first up, Elon Musk is a self-made billionaire. While it's true he's achieved incredible success, the self-made label is a bit misleading.
Right. His father was an engineer and entrepreneur, and his family had significant wealth. So Musk had access to resources and opportunities that most people just don't have. That's not to diminish his achievements, but it's important to acknowledge the role of privilege in his success.
Next myth. Musk is solely responsible for the success of Tesla and SpaceX. This one gets repeated a lot, but it ignores the contributions of countless talented engineers and scientists working behind the scenes.
Exactly. Musk is the face of those companies, but he's not a one-man show. Thousands of people are dedicated to making his vision a reality. It's a team effort.
All right, last one. Musk is a genius who can do anything. This myth often portrays him as almost a superhuman figure, capable of solving any problem with ease.
Yeah, while he's undoubtedly intelligent and driven, that kind of portrayal can be detrimental. I mean, it sets unrealistic expectations and ignores the fact that even brilliant minds make mistakes and face setbacks. It's important to remember that. Musk, like everyone else, has limitations.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but it's crucial to maintain a balanced perspective.
Absolutely. Now let's dive into some lesser-known facts about Musk. Did you know that his team, composed mostly of young tech experts, has been actively involved in closing inefficient government offices? They've been working to streamline bureaucratic processes, which aligns with his DOGE mission.
Really? That's interesting. I hadn't heard that before. It shows that he's not just focused on these high-profile projects, but is also taking a hands-on approach to tackling what he sees as inefficiencies, even within the government.
Precisely. And this brings us to another intriguing aspect, the potential conflict between his desire for a large family and his environmental concerns. Musk is a vocal advocate for sustainable energy and combating climate change, but he also wants to have many children.
That does seem contradictory. A larger population puts more strain on the planet's resources.
Exactly. It raises the question, Does he see technological solutions as the answer? A way to create abundance and sustainability, even with a growing population? Or is there a disconnect between his personal choices and his public advocacy?
That's a good question. It definitely makes you think about the complexities of his beliefs and actions. It's fascinating how all these different pieces of Musk's life, his family, his politics, his companies, they all connect in some way.
Yeah, that's the thing about Musk. It's hard to put him in a box. He's like this blend of Silicon Valley entrepreneur, futurist, and even a bit of a showman. It makes him both compelling and complex.
Definitely. We've talked about his successes, his controversies, his ambitious goals, but what does it all mean? Who is Elon Musk? Beyond the headlines and the hype.
That's the question everyone wants to know, right? Some people see him as this visionary, like a modern-day Thomas Edison, pushing the boundaries of innovation. Others see him as this reckless disruptor, someone whose actions can have unintended consequences.
He's been called everything from a genius to a con man. It seems like everyone has an opinion.
That's true. And it's partly because he cultivates that strong personality, that aura of being larger than life. He's not afraid to share his opinions, even when they're controversial. And he engages with the public on social media. All of that adds to his mystique.
Right. It's almost like he's created this personal brand, this brand that's totally connected to his companies and his vision for the future.
Exactly. And that brand is built on ambition, innovation, and a willingness to challenge how we think about things. Whether you like him or hate him, there's no denying Elon Musk is a force to be reckoned with.
So after this deep dive, what's the takeaway for our listeners? What should people keep in mind when they hear the name Elon Musk?
I think the most important thing to remember is that there's no easy answer. He's not a hero or a villain. He's complicated. A real person with strengths and flaws.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the narratives, like the genius innovator or the reckless billionaire.
Exactly. It's important to look beyond the simple labels, consider the nuances, acknowledge his achievements and his shortcomings.
Right. He's definitely a brilliant guy who's pushing the limits of technology. But he's also made decisions that have negatively impacted people.
That's the challenge with figures like Musk. They're hard to categorize. They make us think about tough questions, about technology, ethics, and the impact of powerful people on society.
And those are questions worth thinking about. It's not about praising or condemning him. It's about thinking critically and forming our own informed opinions.
Well said. And I think that's a valuable takeaway from any deep dive. Approach complex topics with curiosity. Consider different perspectives and reach your own conclusions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's been fascinating exploring the world of Elon Musk. From video game programmer to potential Mars colonizer.
Yeah, and his story's not over yet. It'll be interesting to see what he does next.
Absolutely. And for anyone who wants to keep exploring, be sure to visit us at https://learnxyz.in. We have so many more deep dives waiting for you.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. We really appreciate your support.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.